Oh, I need more liquids.
I need my liquids.
For this episode, I should change Eric's nicknames to TLDR, but I think I got like a good one already.
I don't get that reference.
Okay. Too long, didn't read. It's usually just a semicolon.
I'm Yola Tango.
Oh, Yola Tango. Oh, me dice. Okay, dice. Spanish was a long time ago.
Oh, wait.
Well,
Cook John. What was Cook John's little quip that he had in like the Hungarian goulash recipe? And if you don't have Hungarian paprika, you can use Spanish paprika. No problemo. He's such a weirdo.
I still maintain the tiramisu.
Lastima.
I still maintain the tiramisu. This dessert has a fascinating history as a snack that 15th century Italian prostitutes would serve to their customers.
I love that.
And if it's good enough for those Johns, it's good enough for this one.
Think about it, right? It's like the Hooters like chicken wings and buffet. You gotta give the patrons what they need. Need their energy.
All right. What's that joke about Hooters chicken wings? It's the only wing you can get with a comb over. No.
What?
No.
What? That's disgusting.
I've not heard that one ever.
Welcome to episode 56 of Rebels Without a Pod, the show that dares ask the question, what? Okay. So, all right. Naveen, cut all this out. We're going to start again. Welcome to...
I'm going to keep some of this in.
Yeah, no, just keep all of it in. Double it.
All right.
Welcome to...
Never mind.
Episode 56 of Rebels Without a Pod, the show that dares ask the question, how about some fun and young podcasts?
Ew.
Ew.
You can cut that out.
Leave it in, triple it, Naveen. My name is John. And joining me tonight, Andy, who does our artwork and graphic design.
What's up, everybody?
Naveen on music and audio production.
Hello.
And Pod Daddy Eric, a.k.a. the Blood Gore Stew Master.
Somebody get me my liquids.
Yeah, that is the voice of a very, very dehydrated man.
Mommy. Daddy.
All of our content is currently up on the Rebels Without a Pod YouTube channel and coming soon also to the Long Legs movie Reddit. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Gentlemen, not quite at 1,000 views collectively for the channel, but it was 960 when we looked at it like just like an hour or two ago. So just kind of getting there.
Chugging. Give me like another 6 or 8 months. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, just one foot in front of the other,
How many? The question is from each of us. How many of those views do you think came from somebody we know?
40% Naveen, 30% from his brother.
That's fair. We have Max. Max contributes like 2%.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I don't trust that he listens to anything. I think he turns it on for about 2 minutes because I looked at the algorithm. He turns it on for about 2 minutes, and he's just like, "I've got games to play."
Right.
Don't forget about Leonard.
How was Leonard?
I haven't actually caught up like a little bit. I've been trying to. He was taking like a tech break and just not going on his laptop for a few weeks, but I think he's kind of winding that down now. So we'll try to.
Do you think we had anything to do with that?
It was probably like exclusively the reason for him.
He's like, look,
yeah, you know what? Too much internet.
The main pod was enough. He's like, I was struggling to fit that in my schedule, but add on Cunny, he's. You just broke this man.
Right.
Should we be worried about Leonard? Do we need to send out a search party?
He's fine. It's
so
just
give him like a Patreon discount.
Things in Europe right now are kind of.
I mean, we didn't have to add the tariff on. We had to account for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we can give him a discount.
Right.
Bring it down to 55%.
Yeah. How about I'll reach into him and I'll do a I'll do a little Leonard update segment in the next episode or two. We'll call it Dane and Fortune. How about that?
I like it.
Yeah. So today we are taking a pause from movie reviews for our one-off episode called Remix, the TGIF edition. In this draft, this is like a little kind of new experimental thing that we came up with, and Eric just found out about like 5 minutes ago. But for this draft, we'll be collecting characters, location, and concepts from movies we've covered previously on the podcast with the intention of, on the next episode, casting and crafting a 90s style TGIF family sitcom. So this is going to be interesting, kind of like a little experimental episode, just kind of like, just we've done drafts before, but this is in sort of pursuit of something very, very different. Gentlemen, how you feeling about that?
Hot take, it might also not be interesting.
Yeah.
That's true. TGIF, it's a TGI fun day.
Yeah, I mean, kind of looking at all the movies we did, is like it's so widespread.
Sure.
It may not be as easy as or not easy, but as enthralling as the '96 movie draft was.
We're gonna catch people off guard because I mean, I was looking through what we've posted so far on YouTube versus what we've actually like recorded up till now. So I definitely have some deep cuts.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, that's a very good point. Like about half of what we've covered on the show hasn't even been put like on a public platform so far.
Yeah.
Well, just hoping for this. If nothing else, the TGI, the TGIF wings better than what they got at Hooters.
I don't know.
I'll put that to the test.
Ahead of that, though, gentlemen, how you been?
Doing better with no work for a little bit.
Nice.
That's true.
Anything you want to like shout out for like sort of just movies you've seen, TV, music, things you've been reading?
For myself, not too much. I mean, I finished the series there, and 5th season was okay. It kind of
all 5 seasons of that thing you went through.
Yep,
that's amazing. That is so amazing. What were you expecting by season 5?
I don't know.
You thought like, they've got a good flow. Like last season, how solid was last season?
I thought season 4 was pretty solid.
Okay.
I like the way they did the twist and everything. Maybe a little bit on the predictable side, but it was still kind of fun to watch and see it evolve. And then this one, it was kind of neat with the full circle they made it happen.
Okay.
But just to make that full circle happen, didn't really need to take 10 episodes. I don't think.
I have a question because again, I didn't watch more than the first episode of the first season. Through the entire 5 seasons, how many people did he end up like killing? Like how many people does he oof?
Right.
Oh, geez, I didn't count them all, but so I do not know. It's got to be
that many, really.
How many more times did he end up sort of like wanking into like a West Village mail like flower box? I think that's the.
Yeah,
everybody wants an answer
count. That I can count. That's pretty easy.
I was gonna say, did he break out any sweet first edition fiction on the show where people were just like drooling from like, I don't know what you would call that, sexual book eye candy? He's like a first edition Tom Sawyer, and then he's just like, I'm gonna give up everything for this, and he just drops it, and he just breaks the buying, and he just goes into a rage and just starts killing children.
It's close. It was close.
That was like season 3. I read a little about it. The Tom Sawyer rage.
Yeah. And the Rush song was on at the same time.
Right. Name of the episode was White Picket Fences. Andy, how about yourself?
I
feel like we should just skip Eric for this line of questioning.
I got something fun to share.
I know. I bet you do. Andy, what have you been watching?
So last weekend, as a as 3 of the 4 of us, we went and saw the Lilo and Stitch movie.
Oh, okay.
The live action remake of it. And I gotta say, first of all, love the original. I think it's a great movie. I think it's a ton of fun. I think the live action is also super duper fun. It's a lot of the same storyline. They change it a bit, but it's just a good fun watch. And the little girl that plays Lilo is absolutely adorable, to the point of it being kind of ridiculous how cute this little girl is. But anyway, and then we just finished season 1 of the show Hacks.
Oh, sure. That's a Jean
that is.
Smart, and she's kind of like an aging kind of Joan Rivers style comedian working in my hometown of Las Vegas, if I remember right.
That's right. That's right. And season 1 was good, but we're not sure if we're going to continue to watch the series, because at the very end of the first season, there's a bit of a cliffhanger where it's like, oh shit, we're right back into, like, it almost sounds like they're kind of just going back to the same conceit from the first season. So I'm not sure if we'll continue to watch that, but the first season was good. It was enjoyable. But otherwise, a lot of Good Mythical Morning in my house. And one thing, actually, I want to throw this out there real quick, because I meant to mention it on our the algorithm special that we did. Completely forgot about it until just today. My absolute favorite YouTube station, which I didn't, or YouTube channel, which I didn't mention on the show because the video formats are too long for what we were doing, is it's called Dorothy, DRAWFEE. And it's a group of 4, I guess you would call them illustrators, artists, whatever you want to say. And they basically they live draw, or not live draw, but they draw different prompts and stuff like that while they're doing comedy back and forth with one another, and it's a lot of fun. So I've been watching a lot of that recently as well.
So it's kind of like an artistic themed kind of like improv game or kind of sketch game.
So the drawings sometimes get interwoven into sort of the conversations that are going on, but really it's just 4 really good friends, 2 of whom are married, just kind of shooting the shit with one another while one of them is, drawing, and then they switch out and another person draws. And each week they've got like a different topic to do, whether it's like draw this character from memory or whatever it is. And it's a lot of fun. I've watched it for years and years and years now. And it's worth a watch if you like art.
I heard this is like a thing. We did something like this at my company where it was like they onboarded somebody new, and then they had the CEO and that person draw each other. And while they were doing that, people were throwing out like just things to add to the picture, like add his dog, give that guy a tennis racket. And so it was just like a lot, and they were recording and showing like they had a camera behind each person as they were painting for this one. They were showing their paintings as they were painting it. So when they said, "Oh, add the dog," and you see somebody draw this really sad, shitty looking dog, everybody's just like laughing and having a good time at that person's expense.
That sounds fun.
It's a cool idea. It's a fun idea.
I went to like a heavy metal show over kind of like a winter break in the Ikebukuro neighborhood of Tokyo, like the small kind of underground place where they mostly do sort of rock and metal shows, but they usually have some kind of weird or kind of artistic sort of bent to them. And this one performance I saw, it was a very, very good sort of kind of like rock and metal band, but they had a table of kind of 20-something Japanese kind of men and women kind of sitting in front of the stage. And the entire time that the band was playing, the young people at the table were doing sort of bamboo brush calligraphy. And every time like a song would start, they would listen to the song for like a few seconds, start doing calligraphy, and then when they finished, they would hand it off to like another younger guy who would then take it over to like a clothesline that the Japanese band had kind of run across one side of the venue, and then hang the calligraphy up. And after the show ended, they were selling them for like something like 200 yen a pop.
Did you buy one? Did you attempt to buy one?
I
feel like if you bought one, you would have been like,
felt like the kind of thing I should have just. It felt like the kind of thing to just sit out. But that
I mean, sometimes it's good to talk about these things to get them off your chest. Like if it's really eating you up inside. And so, I mean, I'm proud of you for bringing this to our attention. I was really worried for a second that this might go the wrong direction, but
right.
You kept it on course. So good job, buddy.
I think there's one word to describe what just happened here, guys, and that's brave.
Brave.
Okay.
That you were so fucking confident, it hurt my face. I'm just so proud of you.
Nice.
What have you been watching, Papa?
This one's for you, by the way.
Okay.
No, I'm not being facetious.
And our friendship, we, by the way, just for the listeners' sake, recorded a 3-hour-long 2-man podcast till about 1 a.m. last night.
Yeah, we're
there's been thinking just
for nobody else.
It's on a real journey right now.
This popped up on my feed. It was an article by Rolling Stone, and it was titled "Shudder just dropped the best Japanese horror movie in decades." Do you think you might know what I'm talking about?
Shudder just dropped the best Japanese horror movie in decades.
I've never heard of this movie before until I watched it the other night.
We Are Little Zombies.
We weren't actually zombies. We were just regular children.
They're all middle aged now. It's called My Little. It's called My Little Mombies, I think.
Our Little Pet Project.
There we go. Nothing. I don't recall really reading anything about this. There being this exceptional Japanese horror movie out there, but yeah.
I don't know if I felt that way after I watched it, but it was definitely something that was very unique and kept you on edge the whole time. It's called Best Wishes to All. Best
Wishes to All.
It's just let me lay the grounds for you. So it's a young woman. She's maybe like 19 or 20. She's moved to Tokyo, but she's clearly struggling. She's like short on money. She's having a really tough time, like making friends and stuff.
Right.
And so she decides to get away and to go visit her grandparents for, I don't remember exactly how she got to her grandparents' place or how long she's going to stay for, but it was just from she's in the city to now she's at her grandparents' place and she's going to check in on them and stay with them for a bit. And right from that moment when she's there with her grandparents, shit gets really, it gets like, you see like a really weird thing that happens almost immediately.
Are her grandparents living in Tokyo?
No, they're not. They're out in the countryside in the middle of nowhere.
Right, because that's usually the premise of these things is when kind of young in Japan, when young people have to get away from stuff, to then they don't go into the city, they go out to the countryside to live with like the senior generation people out there. And
so it starts out where you think that clearly something's wrong with the grandparents, like maybe they're possessed, maybe they're just really old and they're struggling, with their memory and stuff like that. But then, like, I think she says at one point, she's like, I'm pretty sure like my grandfather has dementia, like something's off here.
Sure.
And then something happens and it just keeps going and it's just awful and weird. And there's a lot of blood and there's some cannibalism, I believe.
Oh, sure.
They're not too clear about it, but the whole premise is apparently there's a ritual in her family that's been being performed for years from generation to generation, which has allowed them to experience a happiness that maybe other people don't get. So it's kind of like I don't know if they're part of like, some secret cult or they're wizards or there's something going on, but it's really disturbing.
Right.
I didn't love it by the end, but it's one of those movies where you see it, you take it all in, and then you think about it, and you're like, I get it, but like, ew.
It was kind of a tough sit. I mean, so kind of two things there. What's interesting to me is what you're describing is almost verbatim the plot of Dawn to Dawn, which is like this very extremely good kind of recent Japanese anime that first season aired on Netflix. Eric and I both loved it and kind of talked about it on length on like an earlier episode of Cunny. They did a theatrical release of the first 3 episodes of the second season, where Momo and Okarun and their new friend Gigi basically sort of go out to Gigi's kind of extended family home in the countryside that's largely just kind of senior Japanese people, very kind of reflective of just sort of how things are at the country at this point. And it, without kind of spoiling too much, basically does sort of become this same story of this. There's kind of these in these small towns that still for some reason stay very lush and vibrant and successful. What's kind of gradually unearthed over time is this kind of generations long conspiracy of like the older people in the town essentially kind of sacrificing the younger people in town to a volcano god in order to kind of keep like the peace and prosperity of like the town like actually ongoing. It's a really I think it's like a pretty common and kind of resonant.
I was going to say, I was thinking there's another manga I was thinking of. It's called Gannibal. They had the first season on Hulu, I believe. It's like a live action show based off a Japanese comic. And same kind of thing where there's just a family in this countryside area that people don't like mess with that family. And they're like pretty well known like cannibals.
Okay.
It has something to do with just like their beliefs, and it's really disturbing.
It's just kind of interesting to see that sort of thing kind of like discussed and like in maybe kind of some more sort of recent kind of Japanese kind of like television and movies. Because I mean, this may be just me speculating or kind of taking away too much from it, but it does sort of say something about the kind of cultural state of where Japan's sort of been for like a long time at this point. Is so much of what their government does, so much of what their society does is to the benefit, is to the edification of the older generation, which ultimately like the younger people actually have to kind of give up or sacrifice something for.
I mean, I'm flip-flopping at two things here. One, Japan has an amazing healthcare system.
Sure.
So those old people should be well taken care of.
Right.
Japan also has a problem where in the countryside, very rural areas, old Japanese people are dying alone because nobody's checking in on them, and they're just kind of leaving them out there to their own devices, and then they just get old and die.
Right.
So,
yeah, so it's a
metaphor accepted.
Yeah,
great movie.
Right.
You should watch it. I want to hear your take on it.
Okay, yeah, maybe we should kind of circle back to like a Connie or something at that point. Yeah, I'm just kind of trying to think what to kind of tell you guys about. I've been going to like a ton of movies lately, but nothing except for, so I saw the most recent Wes Anderson movie, The Phoenician Scheme. Went to it twice in theaters.
Wow,
had a good time with it. Like the movie starts with Benicio del Toro eating an omelet and having champagne in the tub, like the fucking king that he actually is.
Sold.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, did you hear about that story he told on, I forget, it was Jimmy Kimmel or something like that? Jimmy Fallon, I believe it was, where he had a copy of the script and he brought it through TSA and they flagged it.
No shit.
Because I haven't seen it, but I think it starts out where it says, and because what it was going through the scanner and they could see some of the text on it and they're like, oh my God.
The movie literally starts with an airplane crash.
It starts with an airplane crash where it's just like scene opens on a plane. It mentions the word bomb.
It mentions the word sabotage.
Somebody is like ejecting or escaping from a plane, maybe. So after they planted the bomb, just killed everybody and got away. I don't know. I didn't see it, but it was funny because they took him aside. It's Benicio del Toro, and then the guy who pulled him aside didn't know who he was, and then the manager came over. And he looks at him. And
he drops his cup of coffee very slowly in slow motion.
Yeah.
That's a reference.
Get this man a hot tub. Bring him a mobile hot tub. Get him a hot tub. Get him some champagne.
Right. But yeah, Christ, like so I had a good time with it. It's B tier Wes Anderson, but I say this after he's just had like the most impossible run like any director's ever. Like previous to this, the Roald Dahl shorts on Netflix, Asteroid City, The French Dispatch, Isle of Dogs, fucking just Grand Budapest, Moonrise Kingdom, Fantastic Miss Fox. I mean, it's the least good thing he's kind of done in a pretty long time, but it's still fucking incredible.
I heard magic. Michael Cera being in this was magic, and they don't know why Wes Anderson didn't use him sooner.
Michael Cera has this moment, like this was kind of like a big thing, at least for the kind of our generation, a bit of like, the dowdy girl who takes off her glasses and suddenly she's really hot. I think like She's All That is like the biggest version of that. Yeah. Michael Cera has a version of that in this movie. Somehow it fucking works.
It's weird because he looks like such a doof in the Barbie movie.
Right.
Yeah.
His face, he looked like he just was trying to get over like a coke habit, and he's putting on like water weight, and he just looks old and sad. He was clearly like Ken's friend that he just doesn't, keep in touch with that often. Right.
Yeah. Michael Cera. I mean, everybody in the movie is really, really good. It's starring Benicio del Toro, Michael Cera, and Mia Threepleton, who I guess is actually Kate Winslet's daughter, who was actually like really. She plays the nun. If you'd like see like.
I've never. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Really, really good. A lot of fun. It had the effect that many Wes Anderson movies tend to do for me, which I got out. I'm like, fuck, I need to dress better and read more. It's just big. Big
it's
up
like,
on that
it's
element.
like, yeah, I don't know.
Mhm.
It makes you feel like you should be that way, but I feel like it's just it's all on the surface for that movie.
Yeah,
for those movies in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a fun little place to escape to, though. Let's kind of go on to the meat of the episode. So we're going to be sort of like doing a draft, ultimately to produce a. Each of us will be writing like a little. Kind of a synopsis from the draft results, a little pitch for a late 80s, early 90s style ABC TGIF sitcom. I'm going to make the commitment now not to actually do the Wahlburgers bit this time. I will come up with something.
Thank you.
Just getting that out of the way.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, he's so full of shit. He's waiting. He's waiting. He's building up our anticipation.
Exactly. I was going to say the same
thing.
thing.
Be unique. Yeah. And then he just drops it. And by the way,
I say this to my co-host, and I say this to you, the dear listener. I'm not going to sort of be like circling back to that bit.
No, I see it now.
Okay. What do you see?
Post-draft. It's post-draft. It's not this episode. That's why you wanted 2 episodes. You want to leave it out of this one and then slip it in. The 2
episodes you just discovered 20 minutes ago because you don't read the group
with the next one. I think like you're intentionally hiding it from me. You know how I read messages. I don't read all the way through.
This is Johnny's version of the Mac and Me thing that Paul Rudd does on
Yes,
Conan.
thank you.
That's what's happening here. I swear it's not going to be that clip this time.
That's where you guys are at the moment. This is, it's good we have this in the open. This is the level of trust that that kind of does exist in the show at the time. That's fine. You'll have to trust me until the next episode, and then you can see for yourself. No Wahlburgers for this one. All right. But I did want to do just a few minutes because TGIF, it's a really interesting cultural artifact from kind of when we were younger. So I wanted to kind of read this just like a little bit of history here that I just kind of set the draft up. So TGIF was an American primetime television programming block. I lifted this more or less verbatim from Wikipedia. That aired on ABC at various points since the late 1980s. The name comes from the initials of the popular phrase, "Thank God it's Friday." However, stars of the lineup toted the initialism as meaning actually, quote, "Thank goodness it's funny." In its various incarnations, the block mainly featured situational comedies aimed at a family audience and served as a lead-in for the long-running news magazine program 2020. The most famous shows from this, obviously, Full House, Family Matters, Boy Meets World, Dinosaurs, Step by Step, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. This was this was for the ABC network, just really an accomplishment for them. Friday night programming blocks, very, very typically difficult to program, difficult to kind of get people's attention because they're usually kind of going out, kind of starting their weekend. This was the TGIF programming dominated the 18 to 49-year-old demographic for actually what turns out kind of like most of like the early to mid 90s. This is like an interesting little kind of statistic I found. Family Matters, which is actually a spin-off of Perfect Strangers, which I had no clue about ahead of time.
What?
Had on it premiered as one of the first TGIF nights to 22 million viewers for the single episode of television.
Jesus. That's incredible.
Now, I looked this up. 90 more million Americans are alive today than there were in 1989. I downloaded copies of the highest viewed shows in America, not over a single night, over an entire 35-day chunk. If you take out streaming services, nothing came close to 22 million views for the entire month of tracking, not just for a single kind of night, not just for a single episode. Can anybody guess at 17.4 million viewers for the 2024 to 2025 year over a 35-day window? What was the most watched thing on American network television?
I have a guess.
Not
reality show.
Yeah, so these are just this is just scripted television.
Scripted television. Okay.
Not sports, not reality television, anything else.
Okay.
It's going to be like Fantasy Island, US, Big Brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff out there. I really don't know. 24 to 25.
Yep.
I don't watch
the highest watched
television.
American network television show over a 35-day window. None of you are going to get it. It's a show on CBS called Tracker.
Never heard of it.
Never.
I don't even know what that is.
After Tracker on ABC, there was High Potential. Below High Potential, there was Matlock, which maybe kind of tells you like a lot of
Matlock.
Yeah.
Is Matlock's out there?
Yeah. The sixth
There's
highest watched show
boomers.
in America.
It was originally a show for former boomers, and now it came back for the new boomers.
Right.
Gotcha.
We're also now scared of leaving their homes. Right.
Who's Matlock now?
Yeah, that's a good question. Who plays Matlock?
James Vanderbeek.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't. I think he's still recovering.
I hope he makes that
If
face.
you add kind of the streamers back in, both Squid Games and Adolescence actually had kind of comparable numbers. Adolescence, 19 million sort of collective views. But again, that's over a month, and that's over the entire run of the show. Squid Games actually did like a little bit better. That's the 27 million views over the course of the month. But I think that that says is kind of so much about how they kind of people will sort of say America, we don't really have like a monoculture anymore. We don't really have like the thing that everybody kind of sits down, watches together, sort of knows about after the fact. For you guys, what memories do you have of either these TV shows or this programming block or just anything else in the neighborhood?
First of all, Matlock is Kathy Bates in the new.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Sure.
Yeah,
that's right. She looks so different now.
Thanks, woke mom.
She lost a lot of weight. She lost a ton of weight, and it makes her look older now because it's just, I don't know.
To answer your question, Johnny, TGIF, this may come as a surprise to our listeners and perhaps even my fellow co-hosts here. But one of the four guys that hosts a mid-40s podcast on movies, not the most popular back in the day. Didn't have a ton of social life. So I watched a lot of TGIF on Friday nights, a lot. Very fond memories of Family Matters, of
Did you have a favorite?
Oh, hey, you watched Full House, right?
Yeah.
Did you do you happen to remember that episode where it was like the homecoming dance?
Sure,
yeah.
And there go the next 35 minutes off the schedule.
TJ was supposed to go, and she eventually went.
Just draft at 57.
Steve had that nice ride with Uncle Jesse.
I just heard that he took, Steve took a ride with Uncle Jesse. They went and got some OJ to help him, take the edge off, and shot some guns in a back alley behind like a Stop and Shop. And DJ went to that dance.
Right. That 12-hour-long high school dance.
Everybody was just like, bell of the ball. Yeah. It's special.
Andy, what was your favorite out of that programming block?
I loved Full House.
Yeah.
I really did.
How did you feel about the very last episode? Did it break you?
I
think we were like 13 at the time, by the way. I just want to point that out.
I'm not even sure I remember the final episode.
You must have hung on that long. That's the one where
I watched it.
Michelle falls off the horse. I'm definitely not making this up. Michelle falls off the horse and has amnesia.
What? No.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, buddy. I'm making this next part up because I feel like this was. I feel like this was something that was real.
To get amnesia.
What I'm doing is I'm trying to will something to existence. This was the only episode where you saw, maybe the second time you saw both twins appear at the same time. Where it was Michelle was in a coma, and she fell off a horse, and then her other twin came to her in like her coma dreamland and was convinced her that she needed to like wake up. So maybe it wasn't amnesia, or maybe it was amnesia. Maybe it was a two-parter. Maybe she woke up and she's just like, "Where am I?" And they're like, "Dweh, dweh, dweh, dweh." And then Joey's just like, I need some wood.
It
was a two-parter. Yes, it was a two-parter. I'm gonna look this up now. I swear, or it's an hour long or something.
Looking at it now, it's a two-parter.
Yes.
She had amnesia, and they're just jogging her memory.
Oh wow. Okay. Yep.
I totally forgot all this. I know I watched it, but
I don't remember any of this.
Yeah. I don't remember any of it either, but I know I watched it.
Oh, buddy, you made my night. I don't care if you're lying to me.
Episode titled "Michelle Rides Again."
Is it show both of them on the back of a horse?
Due to the show's sudden cancellation, it became the final goodbye for Full House. So it wasn't planned as the finale.
It wasn't even a planned finale.
Oh, man.
How did they not give Full House a planned finale? That's bullshit.
Why didn't they have like Urkel show up?
Like actual sort of planned finales were such rarities back in the day because the thing was always get something syndicated, get something running in perpetuity, and pump as many episodes out as humanly possible. So like back in the day, it was an extremely rare thing to happen.
But like even the Disney Afternoon, all those shows, they started out with like it was like 4 shows that were considered like a movie that introduced you to all the characters. And then
that's very famous. It was like
making episodes after some points. They're like, you know what? Nobody cares about the show anymore. We'll stop after like 20 episodes or something. So you never got closure for any of those things.
DuckTales was awesome.
Even Ghostbusters, Ninja Turtles, they just ran out of budget and interest.
Ninja Turtles, I was actually reading the cartoon actually had a legitimate series finale.
Really?
So them sort of be like there was a different big bad that was not Shredder or Kang in like the last season, and I guess like that final season ends with Splinter kind of like after like the Turtles beat the big bad. It ends with Splinter saying, "You are no longer Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You are now Ninja Turtles." And that's
sons. I have to reveal something to you. You're actually 35.
They're not mutants anymore?
Donatello, you're 37. God damn.
Wow. So as soon as they stop being teenagers, they stop being mutants as well?
They just reverted back, yeah. It's something they could do the whole time.
Right. Naveen, how about yourself? Like memories of like this, so like TGIF?
Very similar to Andy's. Just remember watching it. Definitely early on, more religiously. I guess as you got later into the teen years, less so. But
what was your favorite show?
Yeah, I was big with Full House and Family Matters. Those are the 2 big ones that I really remember.
Do you guys watch Dinosaurs as well?
Yeah,
I did watch Giant Dinosaurs, but wasn't that like short-lived? It really didn't stay.
It was only like 2 or 3 seasons. That has a truly insane planned series finale where basically the company that the dad works out creates some environmental disaster, and then all the dinosaurs die in a snowpocalypse.
Yeah. Yep. It's crazy. Do you guys remember they had Pizza Hut hand puppets?
Oh yeah.
Those things were awesome. And I couldn't get the goddamn baby. I got the dad. And I'm like, I don't want the dad. I'm like, I'll take the older brother or like the baby. I didn't get either of those. I got like just a bunch of copies of the dad.
Right.
Yep.
Not the mama.
Yeah. I'm going to be like sort of just real quick for my autobiographical stuff. We didn't have cable. We couldn't get ABC. I occasionally would watch Full House with my grandmother when it was running in syndication on the NBC affiliate, which we could actually sort of get reasonable sort of reception for. But I've got no memory and almost just zero connection to.
Was Full House for you was just like a bunch of raccoons got into like the barn and you had to shoo them away with a broom? Oh, this is a Full House.
Johnny and his brother had to trade off. So like Johnny had to act out a Full House, and then his brother had to act out Family Matters.
But we did not actually end up needing that because a station we did get perfectly was Fox 61. Now this programming block started in 1989, but you know what also premiered December 17th, 1989 on the Fox network. That was.
Oh, wait.
The Simpsons?
No. Yeah.
Was it? Oh,
Simpsons roasting on an open fire. And
I was thinking of the Bundys, Married with Children. But I think that was a little before that. It was probably like 88 or something.
Mm-hmm. My mother was part of the whole kind of, I think, kind of initial sort of moral panic around The Simpsons. Was it, you know, that there was a 10-year-old boy that would say "damn" and was kind of like a pain in the ass. Damn hell, he carried a slingshot like all the rest
Keep
of that.
my shorts. Yeah.
So the agreement, my brother and I really wanted to watch The Simpsons. Mom told Dad, okay, we're going to record an episode of The Simpsons and we're going to basically screen it. And if we think it's okay for the two of you to watch, then you can watch like the recording the next day. Mom and Dad put it on in the living room. They sent us both to bed. Dad is laughing so goddamn hard at the episode. About 10 minutes in, my brother and I just both come outside. We're like, we don't care. We're sitting with you and we're watching the rest of this. My father went on to tape every single episode of The Simpsons for like the next 4 years after that. And that was the thing in our house. I mean, that was, you know, it was, it's interesting that at the same time that this kind of very kind of, you know, sort of pure kind of benign style of kind of family comedy was sort of like the biggest thing in America, you know, stuff like The Simpsons and eventually kind of Seinfeld and kind of more sort of grown up, more cynical, grown up, you can kind of say kind of satirical or sort of postmodern things were kind of starting to happen at the time that this TGIF stuff was so big. And that eventually became the thing that kind of really, I think, like supplanted it in popular American culture because ABC had canceled most of these shows and then TGIF outright by the end of the decade.
Something I have to bring up because I know at least one other person on this pod watched this, but Snick at Night, Nickelodeon Saturdays, that was kind of what they would show after TGIF Friday. So you have TGIF Friday, you watch that for 2 hours, and then on Saturday they had kind of like their own shows. Like they had All That, they had Are You Afraid of the Dark, Pete and Pete.
Pete and Pete.
I'm trying to think what else. Clarissa was Explains It All, maybe? Or no, Alex Mack. Alex Mack, maybe? Yeah. They had a bunch of those kind of shows. I used to love those shows. I mean, the one show that I've gone, I heard Pete and Pete still pretty good if you watch it. One of the things I did do back in the day on DVD were all the seasons of Are You for the Dark, and the quality is awful, but they hold up. They're really creepy, like more so than if you watch like Goosebumps on Fox or something. They just have this like weird creep factor.
Interesting.
Yeah, John. John doesn't get it. It's fine. It's fine.
Just
step by step. You and your brother were trying to see how many steps you could skip with like one big step.
While we're trying to get 2 away from the raccoons.
Yeah. Step. Yeah. Come on. Let's throw all the apples in the yard and try to get all the raccoons and stuff them back into the shed.
This is a story that ends up getting like just told in my family constantly, but we loved The Simpsons so much in our house, growing up. Like when I was about sort of maybe 12, 13, my parents were like, okay, instead of getting like a regular babysitter, let's pay John like $3 an hour and we can kind of go out and John just kind of can keep an eye on Tim. Okay. One night, Friday night, my parents are kind of going out for like dinner at a neighbor's place. I'm watching Tim. I'm kind of upstairs on the computer. And I did something to piss Tim off. I don't really exactly remember what. But Tim got so mad at me that he locked me upstairs and went straight to bed. Okay. So I spent about 2 hours locked upstairs before Mom and Dad got home. And I heard Mom and Dad come in and start kind of jiggling like the handle kind of really, really hard. And you know, they come in and they see that the door is locked and just Dad unlocks the door and opens it. I'm sitting there like furious. Dad's talking to me. It's like, what's happened? What's going on? And Mom, it just turns and just walks away. She goes in the kitchen. I found out years and years later that Mom basically walked into the kitchen, went into the pantry, closed the pantry door, and was just laughing her ass off for like 10 minutes. Because she was just like, whatever John did, he probably deserved it. And when Dad unlocked the door and I saw the look on John's face, I'm like, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. But and Mom's, I guess her point was like, we don't really need to punish Tim. John probably, but that's like, we need to do something to punish Tim. And so like the punishment they came up with was Dad and I got to watch a taped rerun of The Simpsons, and Tim had to stay in his room. But his room was right outside the TV room, so he could hear us watching The Simpsons and laughing at The Simpsons. And this was an episode we had on VHS. We had probably seen like 20 or 30 times.
I don't think that's torture.
It's not. It was at the time didn't kind of seem to me like that much of a punishment. But Tim was literally lying on his bed, kicking the walls with his feet and screaming the entire time we were watching it. So it made me feel a bit better about the whole experience.
Oh, okay.
That's
you guys had a lot of fun on the farm.
Yeah. What can I tell you, dude?
I was just watching TGI Fridays.
Yeah. Just. Our family was not like the ones you see like on those nice Friday night sitcoms. Like, let's get on to the draft.
Depends. You could be. How did you resolve it? And obviously, the way you resolved it was
mind games. Let's go on the draft. So the first thing we got to do, and I'm going to share my screen real quick, is we have to randomize the host drafting order. So I've got random.org pulled up. This is, as I've said before, a pure random number generator that's seated on atmospheric noise. I'm going to randomize the list of the 4 host names, and we have Eric drafting first, Naveen second, myself third, and Andy on the turn. It'll be an interesting one.
Right. What rules are we doing now? Does Andy get double picks?
Andy gets double picks, right?
Andy gets double pick, then it goes back up.
I think.
But then you get the double pick, Eric.
It's true. It's true.
All right, you guys vamp. I got to set the spreadsheet up real quick.
One thing I didn't get to mention, I did also finish the end of the effing world.
Did you really? Yeah.
Watch both seasons.
What'd you think?
I thought it was pretty good. I liked the first season. Second season it started off a little kind of weird and slow. Like
a Naomi Aki is in that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the way they brought it all together, eventually brought it together, was really cool, and how it ended and things was kind of neat.
Sweet. That's awesome. I'm glad that you checked that out. I
enjoyed it.
Season 1, I thought season 1 was solid. I look forward to season 2, but it wasn't out at the time when I saw it. So maybe I'll go back and wrap that one up.
Yeah,
because it goes pretty quick.
It's not as solid. Yeah, it does go pretty quick. Yeah, like 20-minute episodes.
What about the music? Does the music? There was a lot of awesome music choices for the first season.
I think it's just as good with the second season.
Is it? Yeah.
Definitely, music choices stayed pretty solid.
I remember that I had at least like 4 or 5 songs that I got from that show that I had like on my regular like playlist.
Oh, nice. Okay, so we got like the spreadsheet set up for the draft. Let me go through the draft rules really quick. So there are 6 TGIF categories we're going to be drafting from. These are all, like I said, going to be pulled from exclusively from movies we have previously seen, covered on the pod. The 6 categories is you're picking 1 to 2 parents, 1 to 3 kids, a wacky friend, neighbor, or coworker, a marketable pet, alien, or robot. Some kind of setting, could be a hometown, could be a workplace, could be a gathering spot like the coffee shop and friends. And then finally, a commercial sponsor for your TGIF show. Drafting is going to be snake style, as we did with the 96 movie draft. Host order will be set randomly at the start of the episode, which we just did. Picks are limited to the movies we've covered. Once a character, setting, concept is drafted, it is off the board for all other hosts and all other categories. For categories with multiple entries, such as the 1 to 2 parents, the 1 to 3 kids, multiple film sources can be used within that single pick. These guidelines are fairly loose, but another host can contest a pick if they feel it is necessary. The other 2 hosts will arbitrate and then have final say on whether the pick is valid. And we're, like I said before, we're just going to be doing the draft itself for 56, 57, episode 57 or later. We're just going to start off the episode with our completed TGIF sitcom pitches. Any questions?
All sounds good.
No.
Okay, so Papa, you are leading off the draft.
Wow.
So what category and who are you picking?
Oh, I can just pick whatever category I want to go after?
Yeah.
We're not going to do it in order? Okay, I'm going to go with
you don't have to go. The whole thing is you pick whichever category you want first. If you think one category is going to be more competitive, or if there's one thing you especially want a particular category, you want to sort of pick that ahead of something else.
Oh man, this is a tough choice. I really want my wacky neighbor that I picked. I'm gonna go with parents.
Parents, okay.
Because I didn't have a lot of backups for this.
1 to 2 parents.
And I don't know. I don't know how popular these picks are gonna be, but I was pretty satisfied with them.
Okay.
So first pick I had for parents.
A point of clarification. I'm sorry.
Yes.
So is Eric able to pick up to 2 people in this 2 characters in this?
If he's one parents, he can pick 1 or 2, he can pick 1 parent or 2 parents for his show. This counts as a single pick, and he can pick 2 parents from the same movie, or it can be 2 different characters from 2 different films that we've covered.
If you think it would be fair to split that up, like the picks for parents, I'm fine with that as well.
I would have to completely redo the sheet, and like the episode would sort of go like a lot longer.
So then the same rules apply to kids as well. Then you could theoretically pick 3 kids at the same time.
Correct.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Continue.
Okay. So I'll go with parents. First parent I picked 2 parents.
Yes.
The first one I picked, I had to pick this man. He's a very dark man. He's troubled. We just covered him recently. I went with Dr. Peyton Wilder.
Very nice.
I had to.
Does
you know what?
Dr. Payne Wilder have a significant other, or is just the one?
He does. He does. Well, Dr. Peyton Wilder, I had to pick him. He's smart. He's ambitious. He's strong. He's got a mysterious side to him.
He's got like a hog, it's like a German soldier hanging out a window.
It's like gray, but it shouldn't be.
Very large penis.
He's got a jam band that he does with a couple high school friends that they practice in his garage. I mean, this guy's got everything. He also has a secret identity of Bruce Campbell. Oh, I love Bruce. Move me some Bruce. So I had to go with Dr. Peyton Wilder, also known as Dark Man. Just so you guys are aware, I did buy. I think maybe I shared a picture. I bought the trilogy on Blu-ray. 2 and 3 are both direct to TV, or not TV, to VHS. So it'll be interesting to watch.
Right.
Okay.
And is this a single dad, or does he have a partner?
This is not a single dad. Oh. This dad, he's married to this wonderful woman. She's a reporter. She gets into hijinks pretty often. She comes across mutant, amphibians on her travels, or reptiles. Sorry. Yeah, and this is April O'Neil.
This is April O'Neil.
The Ninja Turtles. I had to.
What a good-looking couple!
She's a sweetie. I was just like, you know what? They both have their own careers kind of going on there,
right?
And April's, independent and not afraid to get into a sticky situation with a rat and some turtles.
Has a sense of humor, warm, loving, just like the most amazing freckles. I like
really poor career and only did Ninja Turtle movies, but. You know what? She stuck with what she was good at.
Judith Hogue. All right, excellent pick for parents. Sorry, I like both those. Going to Naveen, what is your category and what is your picks?
Let's see. I think I'm gonna jump to kids.
Kids.
I got 3 kids.
All right.
Gonna go with Thor from The Good Boys.
Oof, okay. That was on my list.
He's a good one. I
liked him. He wanted to be in the play. He's got some musical chops.
But yeah, that's how you had to be cool and everything,
Oh yeah. How many sips of beer did he take?
How many sips of beer would be fantastic. Going with the middle child, I'm gonna take Thor as the older child, I think. Okay. Maybe the younger child. I think I'm gonna use him as a younger child. Not to give too much away. But the middle child, Tetsuo.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Because just overlooked and all those things, and just gets all mad and angry all the time. Right. It seems to be the middle child syndrome.
That weird mutant robotic arm thingy.
Exactly. Yeah.
But people don't mess with that. If that's your bigger brother, yeah.
And then the younger child being, sorry for my pronunciation, Ikuko. So she was in We Are Little Zombies with the camera and all that.
Yep.
And what was her name?
Ikuko, Ikuko.
Got it.
Ikuko.
Cool. All right. Going to my pick, I am going to jump right to the one I do not want to get away from myself now that especially Tetsuo is off the board. But for marketable pet, alien, or robot,
do it.
From the film The Thing, I am picking The Thing.
What?
Wow.
I had a selection, and I'm like, I want John to go first because he's definitely going to pick this one. And you didn't. And you picked The Thing.
Okay.
The Thing.
Put a pin in that. Let's see if I swing back to it later.
You made your selection.
I made my choice.
Yeah.
Andy,
why The Thing? Why The Thing, by the way?
We'll get to it next week.
Oh, come on.
It's not because he can make a delicious burger at a wannabe franchise in Hingham, Massachusetts.
Look, buddy, I need flavor. I need flavor text here. You can't just give me the card.
All right. Patience will be rewarded. Andy with the double.
So I guess I'll start with parents. For parents, I have a story that I'm kind of formulating in my head. I'm going to try to flesh it out for next week. But the father figure, the father is Lucas from Empire Records.
Nice.
Okay.
And the mother is actually Landlady from Kung Fu Hustle.
Wow.
This was Anthony Paglia's character in Empire Records, correct?
No, Lucas is the guy that did the gambling.
With what's very clearly coded as Asperger's, like years before they could actually say what that
Exactly.
was. He's the dad.
He's the dad.
He's the dad.
Yep. And we'll go with the kids now.
Okay.
So you know what? No explanation. Thunder, lightning, and rain from Big Trouble in Little China.
Ooh. Strong picks. Strong picks.
So all older kids, obviously.
I'd watch
yes,
TV
indeed.
show already.
Indeed.
Right.
Except for Lucas. I just kind of look at him and just shake my head.
Well, you know.
Very cool. All right.
Just to make sure it's clear, it's Lucas from Empire Records, not from ER.
That's right. Correct.
I don't know if there's Lucas in ER, but
probably is.
The show was on for like 20 years. The problem was
he's a male nurse.
Yeah. All right. I am going to get my kids pick out of the way as well because it's the one other category I was worried about getting a little crowded. So I am going to choose Mark, also from Empire Records.
Nice.
He's going to be the middle. I'm going to choose Thumbelina.
Wow, John is unpredictable tonight.
and
you
for
clearly grew up without TGIF.
Dude, it was Simpsons reruns and raccoons. We made we made our fun as we could. So Thumbelina, the older sister, Mark for the adorable middle child, and then for the youngest sibling, the real cutie pie of the bunch, I'm picking the feral kid from Road.
Feral kid. Where's Feral Kid from?
The Road Warrior.
Road Warrior.
Oh, yes,
in the boomerang.
Wow. Okay. He's a badass.
It's a great choice.
Great choice. Naveen, going to you.
All right. Since it's kind of been hinted at, not really hinted at a little bit, but I guess maybe hinted at, I don't want to lose my hometown, or hometown workplace, whatever, which will be Pigsty Alley.
Pigsty Alley.
Yep, which is Kung Fu Hustle as well. So since the Landlady came up, I'm like, it might. No, that's a great place.
Lock that in.
You got basically Kowloon, but.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Eric now with the double.
Wow. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna go for Wacky Neighbor.
Wacky Neighbor.
My Wacky Neighbor. I'm glad nobody's picked this yet, and I'm sure somebody will pick this for another category, but I took it first.
Can't now.
I'm going for the Wacky Neighbor. Is it could be, I don't know. I'm not sure yet if it's Wacky Neighbor or Coworker. M. Bison. M. Boston, played by Raul Julia in the Street Fighter movie.
Yes.
And this quote will actually be on one of the episodes. I can't save
For
it.
me, it was just a Tuesday.
Ready? Yeah. For you, the day Bison graced your home was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was a Tuesday.
That's such a fucking bar. So
And something else I want to mention too. When Bison comes over for board game night and he wins at Risk or like Stratego, he just upends the board and just throws it on the ground, screams, "Game over!"
Just starts chucking around Bison bucks.
Yeah, Bison. Yeah. And you get some Bison bucks, and you get some Bison bucks.
I have Street Fighter. I've only seen 9 movies on my love tier this year. Street Fighter is number 9 for me. I legitimately love that film front to back.
Yeah,
I've just been hearing about nothing but awful nonsense the whole time.
You know why it's good?
Oh,
something about it. It's weird.
Yeah,
I watched it.
Thailand and all the cocaine.
A little silly. It was not what you expected, but it did give you something. It gave you an enjoyable ride that you could go back to.
Right.
Put it on the background and do some work, whatever. The next pick. There's 2 categories I'm flip-flopping with. I'm gonna go with the pet alien robot category. I'm gonna say the one that I pick because I'm really proud of this pick. And then I'm gonna tell you the pick that I thought you were gonna pick.
All right, sweet.
So the one I pick is the ice cream bunny.
The ice cream bunny.
Nice.
Sorry, I had to take him off the table. He's just cute and lovable.
You just had to throw him down on the pavement.
He communicates with the children. He's teaching them Spanish, and he likes
He's amazing with dogs.
He drives them to like soccer practice and to go get ice cream afterwards. He takes the scenic route.
Nice. Okay.
Your pick, by the way.
What was my pick going to be?
Fuck you, man. Tiny Two Bells.
Tiny Two Bells.
Don't leave that octopus sitting in there in that tank in that filthy basement. He's dying he's slow
like a lonely fellow with very, very dry tentacles. Just like
you can just hear the faint ringing, like emanating from somewhere inside the house. Even till today, you can still hear it.
Yeah. He wants something, and it's not octopus chow. Davine.
Nope. All right. Let's see. Yeah, what am I going to go with here? I'll go with parents.
Okay.
I'll take Anita Miller. She's the sister from Almost Famous. Zoe Deschanel.
Character who very rightly looks at her mom and just kind of fucks off.
Yeah.
Bit of a theme here of just like people that would have been better off without Frances McDormand.
And then she is going to be married and to another person that just kind of fucks off. John Patrick Mason, Sean Connery's role from The Rock.
Ooh. December. I love it.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be great.
Okay. Going to me. So I've gotten sort of like the big kind of crucial picks off, except with one exception. I was a little less worried about this category, and I'm surprised this has not come onto the board so far. But I'm going to pick a actual legitimate couple from a single movie that we watched, and not just a couple, but a married couple. I'm picking Jerry and Cookie Fleck.
That was one of my choices for parents.
Yep, that's
it wasn't my top choice.
I knew somebody was going to pick that one. You had to.
Sweet, left-footed Jerry and slutty Cookie Fleck. May their love endure.
Yeah.
And we're back to Andy on the turn.
So let's go wacky friend, neighbor, coworker. And oh man, this is a game time decision here. I'm kind of I think for the sake of the story, Gabbar Singh from
Gabbar Singh.
Wow.
I thought you were gonna do JP. Man.
JP?
From Valkyria.
No.
Mhm.
JP is on my list. I'm not sure yet if I'm taking him or not.
Yep. He was definitely somebody that I considered, but no. Okay, and then marketable pet alien robot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cheat a little bit on this one. You guys can tell me if it's permissible. I'm gonna go with Beavers.
I'm good with it.
Yeah. Do I have to add? The fact that you're questioning it makes me question it. Find Beavers.
Right.
I said what I said, Eric.
Wow. Okay. I don't want to spoil the fun.
No one would have contested it, but you equivocated a bit. You revealed weakness. Eric is just it's the Worcester in him. He sees the throat. He has to go to the jugular.
Yeah.
Beavers.
I should have known better.
If you weren't from Massachusetts, I would have let it slide. You do better.
Right. Neighbor for me. This is really kind of like a dream pair up because I already have within the kids section, so like the perfect counterpoint for wacky friend, neighbor, and coworker, in which I am choosing Gore.
Oh, that's great!
Wow,
yeah,
all of Gore.
The 1-2 punch.
I thought you were going to pick Timothy Treadwell.
Well, I didn't have the stomach for it.
What is it called? The is it the World Maggot or what is it?
The World Maggot. I think the World Maggot. Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. They didn't do the World Maggot when I saw them. They cut off the front of Trump's stomach, and then Kamala pissed on everybody. It was like the day before it was like election week. It was a very political show.
Yep.
I wish they just done World Maggot personally, but that's me.
That would have been a fun pet. You could have combined that with Gore. Did you pick Mark as well? No, you didn't pick Mark.
Yeah, I got Mark and kids.
Did you do? You did get Mark. Okay. All right. Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, there it is.
All right. Yeah, I'm going wacky friend neighbor, and I got to go with Jack Burton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Walking out early morning in the blue kimono.
Yeah.
Just
you think you're the lead, you're the center of the attention there, but no, you're just
hit it. I did have Gracie Law as like a backup for like one of the parents. I was like, she should be there for something.
Right.
I figured everybody picked Jack.
Okay. Papa, we got you on the double.
All right, here we go. Kids, I can't believe you didn't snatch these little twins up. You have to have twins to make it a proper TGIF sitcom. So I went with Bobo and Little Debbull.
Oh.
Nothing but trouble.
But do they only play one part?
That's a good question. I'll have to come up with some way that they can both be there.
All right.
They could. I don't know. Yeah. It could. That's a good question. Maybe one could be
actors.
Neighbors. I'll think about it. I could flush it out. It'd be like long lost twins.
It was Aykroyd and his actual brother in real life, right?
Yeah, I guess they're separate actors, but I mean, yeah, it could be like the neighbor's kid or something like that. And Bison's son could be like Little Debbull.
Yeah.
Or maybe it could be a Bobo from Double Dragon.
Any other siblings though? Or there's just a twin?
Oh yeah, there's more. We had to have our kind of like our Wednesday Addams type character, so I chose Dorothy from Return to Oz.
That's
she's there. She will be the she'll be the youngest.
This specifically is the Fairuza Bulk Dorothy.
Yep.
Kind of well before she got she became like a groupie for that shitty band that Jason Lee had.
Yep.
Stillwater was not a shitty band.
That was kind of the point, though, right?
Take it back, Johnny.
Nope.
You bastard.
All right, one more. I had to. Do you know which this will be the older brother?
This is the older brother.
The angsty older brother that he's kind of neglected. And,
Mad Max himself.
Nope.
No.
He's known for shoplifting.
Okay.
Warren CDs.
But wait. Bobo and Little Debbull, we're counting as one?
I think we can count the twins as one.
I think so. You can't say there's twins and one other sibling.
Yeah.
I mean, how about this?
Oh, I lived it, but okay, yeah.
True. It's true.
Naveen, I tell you to drop your mic, but
yeah,
kind of hung up there.
From one twin to twins, please.
Eric, what else would you like to say about twins on this episode?
The twins, buddy. The twins. Elaborate on twins. If it has anything to do with beavers, I'm fully on board. All right.
So
my last
second pick.
The older sibling has to be Warren Wahlberg.
Yeah.
I know his name's not Wahlberg, but I'm still going to keep it as Warren Wahlberg.
It's I think canon in the show at this point, the same way like
it really is.
Yeah.
I mean, and he also is like a fan of rap and metal and Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston, yeah.
Right. Well, he's spreading his wings. He's like, did I get the job?
Cool.
Yeah. It's amazing how much funnier sort of kind of workplace shootings were back in 1996. You know?
Yeah. It's a laugh a minute.
All right.
Yeah.
Fucking movie. What a film. I've said this before. What a film that I was kind of squinting at when I watched the first time and has grown in my heart just so much since then.
Yep.
Yeah. Completely get it. All right. Eric, you got a second pick.
Oh man. I am flip-flopping on hometown workplace.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with my original pick, which was Green Hills.
Green Hills.
Montana from Sonic 2.
Okay.
Is that a hometown workplace?
It's a fictional place. It's a fictional place. They actually, it's just Green Hills in the
Green
game.
Hills is very famously like the first stage in Sonic 2, am I remembering that? But they basically decided to make it sort of rural Montana in the movie.
Yep. It's
Is
not a
that supposed to be
real
the sponsor, or is that
town.
part of the hometown?
That's the
workplace?
hometown.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There we go. Okay. Going to Naveen.
All right, let's see. I've got parents, I've got kids, I've got wacky friend and neighbor. I'm teetering on the marketable pet alien robot.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna go with Wild Man. Wild Man is the gorilla from Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh. You mean
Wow. Okay.
The one that's on the back of the Pork Chop Express at the end of the movie?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think it'd be very marketable pet.
I was really
I like it.
Wasn't he also in Ninja Turtles 2, the movie? They called him Razar.
that was it. He's just got the 2 credits, and I think it hasn't really worked since then.
They're just like, let's just save the suit and just add nails on it and make it like a wolf.
Tukan Razor, he was definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck though? Okay, going to. I think I'm pretty much. I'm very happy with my layout. I'm going to go for like hometown next. I'm going to go with the very sort of creatively and well realized fictional town from Strange Brew, Toronto, Canada.
Okay.
What a place! Imagine if it actually existed.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. Yeah. Also, kind of like a fictional town, also depicted in Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which I guess that means they have a shared universe.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
The extended Strange Brew. What is SB?
CU.
All right. So
From SCTV. Wow, that really.
Yeah.
Tissue there.
Right. Okay.
Andy with your final 2 picks.
So hometown workplace gathering spot. I actually don't really love any of the things that I came up with for this one, but I think I'm gonna go with Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the abandoned mansion from Deadstream.
Nice.
Wow. Oh, that's gonna be fun.
I had Death Manor on there as well.
Was it Death Manor?
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Oh man.
Great name.
Shit, I should have picked that one.
Mm-hmm.
I went with the safe bet. God damn.
That was on my list, was Death Manor.
I didn't even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking, like, I was channeling like suburbs in my head. Like, it has to be like plain suburban setting, but like wackiness ensues.
Right. And for the final 4 picks, we everything has been drafted at this point, except for commercial sponsor. Yeah. All right. So, Andy, you are first up.
So let me, I guess, clarification for myself and probably also for our listener.
It's wide the fuck open for this category.
But so what are we? But like, is this something that will feature in the show, or simply just be, the commercial break?
Sponsored by.
Sponsored by. There may be. You can work that into the narrative of your pitch, whether it's just the first commercial that comes up, whether there's kind of like in-universe product placement, whether it's just like a thing that kind of pops up like at the end of the credits, whether it's just a product that has the reputation of being connected to the show. I think just however you want to make that your own, it's up to you.
Okay. So then
I do that with shows. Sorry to interrupt, but didn't they used to do that with shows like at beginning shows? Like
100%. Yeah.
This episode is recorded live in front of a live audience, brought to you by.
Yeah, and they all were sitting there like waving Duracell batteries, and then during like really funny jokes, they just throw them at like the cast.
Just hucking batteries.
Yeah. Shut up, Jennifer Aniston. Ah! Right in the ear.
I mean, that's the reason they're called soap operas.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Eric has no follow-up to that. He's stunned.
He's not even going to justify
it. Quietest he's been all episode.
I'll elaborate on soap operas. Okay. I know you're from Connecticut, so I'll give you time.
Because it takes longer to watch Twins.
The Twins. Whoa.
Okay. So I actually took the list of every single movie that we have watched since the inception of this podcast. I fed it into ChatGPT.
Oh, Christ.
And I told it to spit out commonalities, I guess I would say. So in other words, what themes, what character types, what vehicles, what, whatever kind of overlap throughout these movies. And
it came back with none of you started having sex earlier enough.
That was actually the first hit. Yeah. But then after that, it broke it down a little bit further. Surprisingly, there actually weren't too many things that were beyond the obvious. There were this many action movies, there were this many comedies, there were here are some actors that worked, across different movies, things like that. But the one that really jumped out at me that I thought was the absolute funniest, it was shared between 3 movies that we watched. The Road Warrior.
Okay.
Blade Runner 2049. And The Thing.
Let us guess what this is.
That's what I was going to say. Can anybody guess what that thing was that bridges the gap between them?
Strong, silent, recalcitrant main heroes?
I mean, that's true, but no.
Coca-Cola.
Nope.
Cybertrucks.
Cybertrucks.
There were no dogs.
What were the movies again? Blade Runner
2049, The Thing, and The Road Warrior.
And it's some common ground that it identified between the 3.
Correct.
Oh, fuck.
Cigarettes?
Nope.
A movie full of cool-ass motherfuckers.
There is that as well. Eric, one last guess, and then I'm going to give you.
I don't know. I was going to say
fuel, gasoline, yeah.
I don't know.
The answer is flamethrowers.
Flamethrowers.
I was going to say flamethrowers.
I never would have guessed
That's
that.
where I got the gas from, was flamethrowers.
Flamethrowers.
Hmm.
This episode of whatever the name of my show is brought to you by Flamethrowers.
Spaceballs the flamethrower.
Merchandising. That's what I got, guys. That's my choice.
Sweet.
Nice.
Okay. So my pick, and this was really kind of contingent on me getting the fictional town of Toronto, Ontario, in my location. But I was thinking, what would be a great vacation destination for native Torontons, kind of dealing with like the long, harsh. Thankfully, it does not exist sort of like in real life kind of winters. It seems like people sort of like endure in that town. I was thinking like what would be sort of like a cool, just get away, come someplace warm and relaxing and beautiful. So my pick for commercial sponsor is the Valkenvania Chamber of Commerce.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's a good one. That's actually a really good one.
Yeah.
Not what I was expecting.
Wow.
Not me neither.
I was expecting Shadaloo.
Chamber of Commerce. That's your sponsor? Huh? Cool. All right. So me, that's up.
Yep.
Too.
All right. Kind of teetering on this one. I have a few. But I'm gonna go with the Revenge for Hire.
Dirty work.
Dirty
Nice.
work. Yeah.
Nice. I'm gonna make the argument to go with 2. And either I can make the argument and try to be successful, or if you're interested in doing 2 as well, we can both double dip here.
Well, you're the last one.
But
Well, I mean, if you want, you said you had a few choices, right?
I had a few choices, but I'm sticking with just the one.
You're just gonna stick with one?
Yeah.
I have to go with 2.
Okay.
I have 2 solid choices, and you'll understand why when I drop them. And one of them I've written out an entire commercial for already.
Okay.
It's going to be during the commercial break. It's going to drop. It's pretty good, about 2 minutes long. You'll like it.
I think there's no objection here. So what do you got?
All right. So the first one is adult diapers for men created by Santa.
Yep.
From Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny.
Right. A movie where very famously a grown man shits his pants on a Florida beach.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's so messy. So obvious.
Oh, whoa is me.
Oh, whoa are my knickers.
Yeah, that's definitely what he's
thicker and thicker. Choice number 2. I'll go for second sponsor for 10,000. Judge Alvin's rubber dick noses for the win. For the win.
That's fine.
I don't have a commercial for this, but I do have the lead into a commercial, which I want to share because I think it's funny. Dad, Danny's poking me with his rubber dick nose again.
I love it. Okay, gentlemen, that's the draft, and I'm going to read back our final choices real quickly here. So, starting with Andy. For parents, you have Lucas from Empire Records, not ER. You have for the 3 kids, Thunder, Lightning, and Rain from Big Trouble.
Landlady.
And the Landlady from Kung Fu Hustle.
Oh, wow. Just cut her off quick.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, we've got our Hooters.
From the from like the elite fighting squad, Big Trouble in Little China, we have Thunder, Lightning, and Rain, all of whom they definitely did not rip off of Mortal Kombat. For Wacky, friend, neighbor, coworker, we have Gabbar Singh from Sholay.
That's
so wacky.
Surprisingly, I did not spell right the first time. There we go. For Marketable, pet, alien, and robots, we have the Beavers from Hundreds of Beavers. From hometown, workplace, or gathering spot, we have Death Manor from Deadstream. And for the commercial sponsor, we just have flamethrowers. No specific category, no specific company, just like the general concept of
flamethrowers. Who wants to throw a fire?
All right. Going to Eric. For parents, we have Dr. Peyton Wilder from Darkman and Ace news reporter April O'Neil from TMNT.
Channel 6 News.
Just as good looking a couple as I think you kind of can see.
Power couple.
Power couple. Yeah. Powerful love. For the kids, we have for the younger sister Dorothy, the older brother Warren W. We'll sort of be coy about that for now. And for like the middle twins,
all right.
Bobo and little Debbull. For
those
the wacky
little wacky goobers.
For wacky friend, neighbor, coworker, we have M. Bison. For Marketable pet alien robot, we have the Ice Cream Bunny. Ice Cream Bunny, of course. Hometown, workplace, gathering spot, we have Green Hills, Montana. And this is like the longest commercial sponsor. We have a double header of adult diapers for men by Santa and Judge Alvin's rubber dick noses. Everybody has turned the podcast.
At least one of those is a solid choice.
Yeah. Or hot dogs. Yeah.
Flaccid sometimes, but it depends on how cold it is.
For Devine, maybe like I think like the freakiest pick of the bunch. We have John Patrick. We have John Patrick Mason from The Rock, and
didn't see it.
Peter Miller, Zoe Deschanel. This movie was '98, so she would have been. It's not worth going into like why I know this. Zoe Deschanel's birthday is exactly between mine and Devine's, so she would have been like 18, 19 in this movie.
Wait, can we drop it? Can I drop it here?
Sure.
Hey, Zoe. Hey, Zoe. You look really nice in that dress you're wearing. I really like it. It brings out that
Venetian scheme. It's really just you come away deeper appreciation of Michael Cera.
Yeah.
The kids, we have Thor from Good Boys. We have Tetsuo from Akira, and we have Akuko from We Are Little Zombies.
Zoe's got some.
Yeah.
I'm not sure those are her children.
Yeah.
They half of them at least.
For wacky friend, neighbor, coworker, we have Jack Burton, possibly wearing his blue kimono. From Marketable pet, alien, or robot, we have from Big Trouble, the Wild Man, who appears at the back of the Pork Chop Express at the end of the movie. Hometown, we have Pigsty Alley from Kung Fu Fossil. And commercial sponsor, we have Dirty Work, Revenge for Hire. Very nice. And finally, for myself, Jerry and Cookie Fleck from Best in Show, Mark from Empire Records as the middle child, Thumbelina from Ice Cream Bunny as the older sister, and the feral kid from the Road Warrior as the adorable youngest sibling. For wacky friend and neighbor, again, so thrilled I also got Mark from Empire Records. I have Gore, just the entire band Gore, possibly including the the World Maggot. I'll have to kind of dig into that.
I'll give you World Maggot.
Alien and Robot, we have The Thing. Hometown, the fictional city of Toronto, Ontario. Commercial sponsor, get away from Toronto for like a little bit. For sun, laughs, and relaxing times, the Valkenvania Chamber of Commerce. All right. Gentlemen, any final thoughts?
And you said we're going to present this as like a TV show within 10 minutes next week. This is like 2/3 of the episode.
Right.
Just come on and say it.
It'll be fun. It might need to be its own episode.
Might need to be its own thing.
Let's just kind of like let's just present them and see how it goes. And if we have fun with it, keep going with it. I think
Eric, I would say this, any ideas you do have, just put in the group chat, and we can kind of
look. I can't put it into something I'm not going to read. I mean, you'll read it. I mean, I won't even read it after I wrote it. So whatever that says about myself.
Do a group watch a Saturday night. Every time John Belushi's coming on stage, I'm going to be like kind of quietly, just kind of pointing at Eric's part of the screen the entire time.
He didn't read the script.
Oh,
there was no samurai in that bit.
Yeah. Gentlemen, Rebels Without a Pod, episode 56, remix. TGIF edition. Any final thoughts?
No, not really. I mean, it's definitely different. There was different than the 96 movie draft.
Right.
You know, not
Can I say
a lot
this?
of taking
Holy
other
shit.
people's stuff.
We didn't exactly. We didn't. Did we overlap on anything?
Did anybody not get their first pick on anything for this?
No.
Yeah.
I got my first picks with everything.
That's shocking.
So,
yeah. So
but
it's quite
a lot more choice. We had a lot more variety of, movies, and there's just so many things that we've covered. I mean, we've done how many movies at this point? I didn't go back and count, but even
I think I can tell you. Actually,
even what we shared up until this point, I feel like we've only shared like 30 something movies. 30 something episodes.
I get everything by we've done 45 films out of the 56 episodes.
But we haven't even. I mean, we have a lot of them behind like the Patreon wall. So for most of our listeners who nobody actually supports our Patreon, didn't get to hear those, but.
Actually, sorry, that includes the B movies. So we've only done 41 movies.
Wow. Okay. I will say this. I was actually pretty tempted to pull from. We've covered other topics as well for some of our episodes. Like we've done TV shows or like, YouTube channels and stuff like that.
Right.
I was so tempted to stretch this a little and try to pull from like a TV show. I didn't end up doing it.
You weren't going to do like Ryan George from Pitch Meeting?
No.
That would have been fun potentially.
That would have been a wacky neighbor.
Yeah.
He would have been a great neighbor or a good coworker.
Chef John and the giant thing at tiramisu.
Chef John.
Right.
So I don't know what you're doing after work, but if you want to go to the brothel and get some tiramisu with the other cowboys, we can go hang out and eat some raw egg.
And it's 20 like, Mamma mia, Chef John, it's such a good time.
I want a 360 moment where you just share like one of Chef John's recipes with your mother and you're like, you should try making this. And she makes it. She's like, John, you know what? I just loved his cadence, just the way he held himself, and it was a really good meal.
They had the gazpacho verde that I showed on the program the other week. Everybody loved it.
Really?
Easiest thing in the world to make. One of the most delicious. I hate to sort of bring Cunny stuff too much into the mainline pod because it's its own obscene thing that should kind of stay in its own backyard. But I have been getting so much fucking abuse from Eric the last couple weeks. We decided to do a cooking segment at the end of Cunny. But this is the thing. He picked what I was going to cook, and then instead of letting me pick what he was going to cook, he picked for himself one of the Chef John videos. He decided, he's like, okay, Johnny, you're going to make this very delicious vegan soup I've been kind of doing from time to time, and I am going to do this awful-looking Hungarian goulash that you made all of us sit through like on the mainline show. And he didn't even give it the dignity of calling it Hungarian goulash the entire time. Gentlemen, you know what he was calling it? What he kept referring to it as? Blood gore stew. I kept on getting these texts like, Johnny, I just got the ingredients for that blood gore stew I got to make for like the next podcast.
You know what? I didn't realize there's a Hungarian paprika. It's so red. It's just so goddamn red from the peppers. It just brings out the rest of the gore and the luster of the dripping fat.
You had the Hungarian paprika though?
I did. I did not. No, I just bought regular paprika. I looked at
not even Spanish.
I looked at the Spanish paprika and it said smoked.
Problemo.
And I said no bueno.
Mucho problemo, man.
Mucho problemo. For that price, mucho problemo. I skipped on a couple things. They wanted like marjoram, and marjoram was like a little 2-ounce thing for like $6. I'm like, nope, I don't know what it tastes like. I'll pass. I used oregano. It tasted fine. Yeah. I love how this is probably the 7th time I've heard John bring this up, and it really pisses him off, and that makes me proud that I do my job.
This is only
I do a good job, and
this is only just kind of giving
pat on the back for me.
This is just you taking the energy I'm just kind of giving away, which is sort of like my. Tell them how
I don't have to be like physically confrontational to break you.
How did blood gore come out?
It's a little subtle thing that I took the power away, and you can't handle it. I should have just added an unexpected ingredient to it and been like, it tastes better this way.
Look at how happy he is. Look at how happy he is right now. Like this.
I did say to John though, after while I was eating it, I served it to all my family in bowls, and they asked for like a spoon. They're like, why don't you give us a spoon? I'm like, you have to eat it like cavemen intended, like with your hands. Just like scoop it up and shovel it in your mouth.
Right.
And then at one point, like my son just got enraged, and then he just started dipping his hands in it and just like dragging it across his like cheeks, kind of like this tribal ritual. And
this is why we don't bring up Connie on the mainline pod. Just look at the we've completely lost both of them.
It's delicious. It's delicious.
Right. It was
delicious. You should make it. I would not make the tiramisu. I'm not going to eat raw egg.
What
the gazpacho
guys went for 25 minutes last night of just him vamping and equivocating.
That gazpacho, I don't know. The way Andy reacted to it, I'm like, I can't make that. No.
Andy, when you're here in September, we're definitely gonna having like that gazpacho to open.
Let's do it.
It's delicious.
You have to do the full meal. Full meal. All 3 days.
I'm not serving my friend goulash in fucking September in Las Vegas. It's going to be 110 degrees out. So
isn't it around 110 degrees all year round? No.
It feels that way.
It's a simmery 80.
It feels that way, but it's worse when you have COVID.
Yeah, that's not good for anybody.
Right. Anyway, Rebels Without a Pod, episode 56. Gentlemen, was a pleasure as always. I think, depending on the schedule, but we will sort of try to figure out what we're doing for when we're going to start the actual sort of B-movie cycle and when we're doing these sitcom pitches. But I think coming up, it's going to be good times.
Indeed.
What's the next movie that's coming up?
I think we're starting with Naveen's pick of 1975 Hong Kong ripoff, Kamen Rider Ultraman ripoff Inframan.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, which was one of my brother's recommendation for the B movie episode he did with his buddy group.
Yeah, and for that cycle too, we decided we're gonna watch it all together. Correct?
Yeah.
So
I think everything's gonna be a group watch culminating in the room.
Yeah. Nice.
Perfect.
I'm getting hot.
Sweet. Talk to everybody in a bit.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Bye.
I need my liquids.